Hey, so my question is, why are guitars so cool? And actually, I have two answers to this, and I'd be interested to hear thoughts, comments, whatever. So, the first reason the guitars are so cool is because we are told that they are cool. If you think about it, guitar music seems to be ever present across so many genres and is potentially the most prominent instrument in Western culture. So, across rock, metal, pop, reggae, folk, bluegrass, um, just about, indie, all of those kinds of music, guitars are really prominent. And I know that I'm focusing on Western stuff, but also if you look at things like Afro beats, guitars are really popular, um, and so on. I mean, reggae is I guess, an exception in some ways, but when you look at big sporting events, it's quite often rock music or guitar that takes center stage. It's not cello, it's not recorder, it's not piano. All instruments have their spaces, but they're nowhere near as visible or as ever present. And of course, in some ways, classical music is seen as less mainstream. It's more upper class or fine art, fine music, which is sort of weird and sort of annoying. But also, it's potentially less accessible in some ways. And this, in many ways, perhaps joins on to the second part of the answer to this question is one of the reasons guitars are so cool is because they are. It's an absolute work of art. It's a piece of crafted furniture that is engineered to sing. You think about different wood types and shapes and so on, but it's also enormously affordable, give or take. You can buy a pretty decent entry-level guitar for £100 and upwards, right? It's also enormously versatile and portable. So you can do chords and you can do solos. So rhythm and lead. It's a portable band, particularly if you look at percussive guitarists like Tommy Emmanuel, who is a walking one-person orchestra or band. And that was his kind of shtick. That's what he set out to do, was to set up a way of playing where he can tour as a band, as one person. Mike Dawes is similar in some ways when there's stuff in flamenco that does that, but also they take it to a kind of another level. And, pianos and harps are too big, clarinets and trumpets and recorders don't seem to have the same versatility. I don't know if you can do chords on a trumpet, can you? Basses and drums quite often play mostly as support in most genres of music. Basses can obviously be lead and can really, really kind of take up a lot of space and be the lead, but less frequently. And the same with drums. Drumming can be super awesome, absolutely front of house and all of those kinds of things, but tends not to be. So I think guitars are so cool because, in a way, they're projected as being super cool. They're forced upon us across all spheres, most spheres of music that we hear on a daily basis. But also, they're hugely democratic and accessible. And that by itself is a pretty cool thing as a portable orchestra in some ways, as long as you're good enough. Of course, lots of people, if you're out at a party and someone gets out a guitar, there's a lot of eye rolling, maybe reasonably so. But hey, thoughts, comments below. Why are guitars so cool? Other thoughts, other reasons, please add. And because this is my thing, I'm going to play a song and you've got to see if you can guess what it is. Take three. palm muting on an acoustic with an amp is quite hard. Name that tune.